Support provided by Lafayette Travel, Red Stick Sports, and the U.S. Army Baton Rouge Recruiting Battalion.
Well, let's start things off over at Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium over in Lafayette. The Raging Cajuns in desperate need of a win. We know the struggles as of late, the big loss at Missouri, the disappointing loss against Eastern Michigan. They've had the quarterback issues, injury issues. Well, they tried to put it all together against Marshall, a team that has lost its coaching staff and many of its players when they left Marshall after last season to go to a different school. But that Marshall program is the one that embarrassed the Raging Cajuns at the end of the season to take the Sun Belt Conference title. So the two teams kicked off conference play in Lafayette Saturday night. And oh, baby, what a ball game we had in this one. Let's kick things off here with 10-3. We're going to go fast forward already second quarter. It's 10-3 Thundering Herd. Daniel Beal, well, he comes out slinging it again. Great catch by Landon Struther. That's good for 10 yards. Next play, Beal to Dale Martin for 11. It's an 8-play drive that ends with Dylan Perry up the middle, untouched, gets into the end zone. This game is tied at 10. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. Lunch Winfield comes into the ball game. He takes a direct snap at quarterback. He takes it into the end zone, keeps it from 6 yards out. It's 17-10 Cajuns. But 30 seconds to play in the half. Cajuns have to get a stop, but they don't get it. Carlos Del Rio Wilson finds DeMarcus Lacey. 32 yards out, he scores, and we're tied at 17. But, folks, we're just getting started. Second play of the third quarter, we got a problem. Michael Allen has room, and he's gone. Not how you want to start the second half. 68 yards to the house, and the Herd are back up by 7. Michael Decimo knows they need to get one back, but not like this. Daniel Beal, 1 of 2. That's picked off. This by Paul Hudson, and he will score. Scott, oxygen.
Big man touchdown.
Get in the end zone, big fella. And he does. It's 31-17. Uh-oh, we're going the wrong way. Now it's 34-20, and Lunch has seen enough. Winfield on the keeper for 38 yards, takes the tackle, keeps it going. Great pickup for the Cajun. That leads to this 2-yard keeper from Winfield. If you're scoring at home, that's 2 touchdowns now for Lunch. It's 34-27. Cajuns right back into this thing. Under 5 minutes to play. Watch as Lunch is under pressure and delivers a dime to Charles Robertson. 45 yards, and just like that, we are tied. Under 5 minutes to go. Now we have a minute to go. Scott, you got to get a stop. You got to get a stop. Oh, no. Oh, no, he got behind the defender. Del Rio Wilson hits DeMarcus Lacey. 27 yards, and Marshall's up by 7. Remember, we're under a minute. The Cajuns aren't done. They packed the Lunch. They signed up for 60. Scott, corner of the end zone. Lunch hits his man. How about this? He goes 75 yards in 40 seconds. Dale Martin with the touchdown. We're going to overtime. First play, Zylan Perry. Scott talked about him on Saturday's show. The running back tandem for the Cajuns. First play, 25 yards to touchdown in overtime. Marshall needs a touchdown. It's 4th and 3. They've got to score, and they do. Adrian Norton from 3 yards out. Now we're going to double overtime. Marshall's held to a field goal, but then on 2nd and 7, Lunch tells everybody, dinner's on me. Gets it into the end zone, scrambles right from 10 yards out. He kept the ball on 4 of the 5 plays in the closing drive in double overtime, and the Cajuns win it. 54-51. Scott, you took the over, right? Holy cow, what a ball.
Not over 100.
Oh, what a ball game they had in Lafayette. Lunch Winfield, 7 of 13 for 125 yards passing, 13 carries for $129 rushing. He had his hand in 5 touchdowns, led the team in rushing, by the way. Red zone efficiency, both teams were very good. The Raging Cajuns just got there more. 5 for 5 in the red zone. Marshall just 2 for 2. Marshall, by the way, allows 102 rushing yards against the Cajuns, 264. The Cajuns get a much-needed bye week before they return to action October 11th at James Madison. Michael DeSarmo, your thoughts?
I don't know if I've ever been prouder of a group of people in my life than these guys right here, you know, and everything that they've been through. You know, we knew that we were going to have to scratch out a win, and that's what it's going to be the rest of the year. I told them before I didn't know how. You know, I didn't see it being like this. But we're going to have to find a way to win at some point.
I was sitting there, I was waiting. Coach Daz called my name. He was like, get ready, you're going in. And I rallied up the bars. I told him, 17 points ain't nothing. It was like, I think it was third quarter, 7 minutes left in the third quarter, something like that. Maybe more, but I was like, second half just started. We want to win this game. We gotta fight. That was all it was. Everybody believed, man. That's just us.
It was nothing but faith. You know, Lunch, man. That's all. Man, he got a story though, but you know it all started with faith.
when your opportunity comes, take advantage of it. You know, because you don't know when you can get another opportunity for a time like this. You know, and I think my coaches, I think Coach Salgado, my teammates for trusting and believing that I can go in there and perform the way I did.
That just tells me everything I didn't know about this group. I knew from week one when we sat in here really disappointed. I knew we had a chance to have a really good football team. And I still felt like we had enough, and we still have enough to make a run and do some good things. But the reality of it is, the belief has to be there, even when it's difficult. And damn, we've been through difficult times this year.
Same vision, same goals, man. We all got the same vision, same goals. We're going to go far.
What I like to say is always stay motivated and believe. I kept to believe, because I trust in my Lord and Savior. I tell the guys every time, like, if we believe, we're gonna get what we need to get done. And the guys, we hold each other accountable. That's what we do inside the defensive room. From the D-line to the linebackers to the safety, we hold each other accountable. So when we see in the 0-17, that's, everything's possible with the Lord. That's how I feel.
Tonight, was really just a testament. Our coaching staff did a phenomenal job putting together a game plan, on offense that we could move the ball and get some points and do some things with what we had. Our players were outstanding. The guys that stepped up, and Charles Robertson and obviously Lunch and, Jax Harrington moving the tackle. You can't say enough about. There's a ton of individual efforts there that are unbelievable. So I'm just really proud, and I couldn't be happier for a group of people than I am right now for those guys in that locker room.
Take a look at the numbers here, Scott, heating up after halftime, if you will. The game was tied at 17. Remember, at half, but look at what they did, the Cajuns, in the second half. It was almost like 2 games played, even with the bonus football. 37 points and over 300 yards of offense just in the second half.
Yeah, obviously the spark that Lunch Winfield brought to the second half of this game is really the reason for those numbers there. And you heard, I echo Zylan Perry. You just shake your head at those numbers. And that's really the offensive explosion, the spark that he ignited in the team. And to be down multiple scores and find a way to fight and finish that game and to win it is unbelievable.
Can I draw your attention to the bottom line there? 0 penalties in the first half.
It's amazing.
1 in the second half in overtime, and the penalty came in overtime, a running into the kicker. Marshall had missed a field goal running into the kicker. They got a second opportunity and made the field goal before Lunch scored the touchdown. You played 5+ quarters with 1 penalty.
It's amazing. That's a disciplined football team. That's hard to do. A player and a coach strive for perfection in a football game. That's as close as you're going to get. That's amazing to have 1 penalty. And I've been in this position before. I've been in a position where you're 1-3. And I can't tell you how pivotal this game is. To be 2-3 versus 1-4, it changes your entire outlook on the season. So a tremendous job battling back into that game, getting into double overtime, and finding a way to win it.
And I'm sure you've been in positions where you needed somebody to step up. You needed a spark. Your quarterback, Daniel Bill, throws 2 picks. Lunch came in early in the ballgame and gets a touchdown. So Coach makes the call. Lunch, you're going in, and it's time to eat. And boy, did he, with the way he played in his composure. Scott, we should tell people know Lunch is one of those players. He came from Lutcher, great small town in southwest Louisiana, and down in the river parishes. He missed last season, basically all season, because of an injury in preseason. We've talked about Walker Howard. We've talked about Daniel Beal. But, boy, Lunch steps in and just wills this team to a victory.
And taking advantage of your opportunities. And a lot of people, you get this opportunity to shine, and he certainly shined. Scoring touchdowns, almost over 250 yards of offense, almost 300 yards of offense in just the amount of time he got to play. And you can see the belief in this offense, just making plays, those explosive plays on offense, getting the ball behind the secondary, what he was able to do with his legs in the running game. That ignites a sideline, and it just resonates throughout the entire team.
That first pass you saw under pressure, this is the one under a minute to go. He takes him basically 75 yards in 40 seconds with that touchdown pass, the composure, and then, of course, the biggest play in double overtime here. And as you mentioned, Zylan Perry's face said it all. He just said Lunch, and what do you say?
Yeah.
What do you do? He comes in there and makes it, leaps 5 touchdowns, all that he was involved with, to get the big win for the Cajuns, who now get a much-needed week off. But, boy, you'd much rather go into a break like this with the momentum than the struggle there. But congratulations to the Cajuns. Congratulations to Lunch. I have a feeling Player of the Week honors might be coming from the conference somewhere.
I would think so.
for that young man.